Yo, 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 what it do? What it do? What it do? Bears fans. Um wow, what a doozy. What a doozy.
Quite the thing.
Yeah. Welcome everybody to episode 24 of Bear Down Breakdown. This is our first actually our first same day post game episode, which if you are joining us or listening or whatever, thank you for joining. We appreciate it. Our first time recording, not right after the game, but pretty much right after the game. It's been about a little over 2 hours since the game has ended. Um, yeah, another show, pretty much. Um, not, not, uh, not the finest day for Bears fans. That's to put it lightly, or put it lightly. Bears lose 27-17 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa. Um, just a whole lot of bad. It started off great. Um,
On script, always does.
yeah, yeah. Once these plays are scripted and everything is set to plan without the opposing team having to make any adjustments. Bears offense made it look easy. Justin Fields looked great and got the ball out of his hands super quickly. Ran it in for a touchdown, and then the adjustments came, and the struggle followed. Baker Mayfield threw for over 300 yards. He had only one touchdown, but he was just making plays all over the field. Rashad White, their running back, had 73 yards rushing and a touchdown. He had a nice day. Um, yeah, not a whole lot. Not a whole lot of good to come out of this one. Oh, Dom, what do you think, man? What do
You
you think about this
know,
game?
I don't even know where to begin. It's in some ways I thought they looked better. If I'm trying to start out on a positive note, there were aspects, right, that looked better, maybe. But then, like you said, once the adjustments came, and again, our coaching staff did none of the above, no adjustments made. It just kind of fell back into the same old bullshit. And I said it as it happened. That first drive looked great. So let's see what happens when they have to go off script. And we saw, and you know, it's concerning. It really is. And if you thought, okay, maybe just one game last week, you didn't see much different this week.
Yeah, it's I said last week, it's copying. Week one was copy and paste from last year. Like it was technically week one, but it felt like week 19 from just a continuation from that terrible season that was last year. And this game didn't feel any different. This game didn't feel any different. Justin Fields was 16 of 29, 211 yards, one touchdown, two picks. He was sacked 6 times, had a passer rating of 61.1. On the other side, Baker Mayfield was 26 of 34, 317 for one tutty. Was sacked 0 times. Surprise, surprise.
He
And had a
squeaked
passer
out a
rating.
two.
Yeah, yeah. Bears. I think the Bears pass rush did a lot better today than they did week one. That's for damn sure. But still, you got to finish those plays. Like Ngakwe, just he was the guy who almost had him twice. Almost had 2 sacks in his game, and it's like he just like I don't know, like shuffle your feet when you get to Baker. Like he's not going to escape you. He's not Michael Vick. He's not Justin Fields. He's not Lamar Jackson. Shuffle your feet when you get to the guy and bring him down. Anyway, yeah, he had a pass rating of 114.5. So I predicted that Baker Mayfield we were going to make him look like Joe Burrow, and he looked like Joe Burrow. Khalil Herbert has 7 rushes for 35 yards. The Bears only had 4.2. I guess that's decent. 4.2 yards per carry. Roshan Johnson, that that dude needs more touches.
Yeah, he does, but Herbert looked good. That was one of the there. He had some, some effort plays, some plays where he was just churning his legs. You
He
know,
did.
he would kind of give a spark when it was needed. So he was one of the bright spots. I thought there was a couple times where I was like, man, thank God for Juice today because he was bringing the juice for sure, at least in a
Yeah.
couple spots.
He had 7 for 35, so 5 yards per carry. Roshan had 4 carries, only 4 for 32 yards. That's 8 yards a pop. Um, it's just it the Bears offensively, how is it that it's the second year in this Lugetti offense and we have seemed to yet again lose our identity?
It wasn't there from week one. It's you and I don't know if, like I said last week, I don't know if Justin's been coached to not run. I don't know if he has said I don't want to run. But now, whereas last year he would have taken off and ran, he just stops and pats the ball and takes sacks. And we see that there are wide open receivers. So now, if you're not going to hit these wide open receivers and you're not going to take off and be electrifying, then you leave the offense in a serious bind because we see the receivers. I haven't even seen the all 22, and I could tell you there were receivers open, wide
Yeah.
open,
Yeah.
just from the TV tape. And where last year he would take off and run, he's not doing that anymore. So I don't know if he doesn't want to. He just seems shattered and defeated.
Yeah. Um yeah, let's just talk about Justin because he obviously first drive looked great. Um and then once give credit to Todd Bowles because he's a really good defensive coordinator. He is especially good against young quarterbacks. So he knows what he's doing. But nonetheless, all he did was play zone. And we talked about it in the last episode. All you are going to see as Justin Fields is defenses play zone against you. There's no reason to play man because once you play man, and Justin, if he was to decide to get out of the pocket and leave, you're screwed. So Todd Bowles played a bunch of zone, and um, yeah, there was a play in specifically where I believe it was Roshan Johnson ran this seam route, and someone took a picture of it, a screen grab of it, posted it on Twitter, and he's wide open, and it seems like Justin is looking right at him. It was a play where Justin held it for like 5 seconds and took a sack, and it's the same story. Same story as week one. Um, I don't know what to make of it anymore. I really don't.
He, he
It's
was doing
crazy. It's crazy that Justin looked better under Matt Nagy.
I've this is somehow worse than Matt Nagy. I don't know how it's possible, but think back to that game in his rookie year against Pittsburgh. Think to
Man,
how he looked. I mean, that I saw it there. Like okay, this guy's gonna be something special, or at least better than this. That's why I say he's shell shocked. He's shattered. I feel like this
broken.
another coaching staff has broken a quarterback.
Yeah.
That's what it's starting to feel like. Because I still think I don't care. There are quarterbacks that make up for their deficiencies. Does he have some deficiencies in his game? Yes, of course. All quarterbacks do. But it felt like his upside could overcome that. And it seems like they just have beaten it out of him to where he's so tightly wound in the pocket. He's trying to think and do so many different things that they've taken what makes him special away from him.
Yeah.
Somehow.
It definitely seems like he's lost that mindset of I need to just make a play. Instead, it's I need to sit in this pocket, go through my progressions, read the defense the way I need to read it, and hit the right guy. And it's not anymore drop back, stop thinking, and make a play. Whether that's hitting a deep ball, whether that's going through your progressions and making the right read, whether that's um and man, Bruce said it in the group chat as well. His pocket presence is, or was that you who said it?
No, that was
Uh,
Bruce.
yeah, his pocket presence is just non-existent. The dude has he
Terrible.
doesn't know where the pressure's coming from. He doesn't know where to go if he wants to escape. He it just it you could just tell it's completely between the ears with Justin right now. And um it's super unfortunate because how man, in terms of the decision to move on with him or move on from him is very weighted, but almost still unclear because we have a guy who has regressed since his rookie year. Like, how do you regress year after year from your rookie year when you were originally coached by probably one of the worst offensive coaches I've ever seen?
Well, the only way to do that is to bring in a defensive coach and then an offensive first time, well, was Getzey the quarterback coach or the OC in Green Bay? He was the quarterback coach, wasn't he?
He was a quarterback coach. Yeah.
Okay, so first time OC. That's how you do it. Because this is worse than Nagy. I'm going to come out and say it. It's somehow worse.
Yeah.
I don't, and I am the biggest Nagy hater in the world. I thought that we were, moving on up when that regime left. This is somehow worse.
Yeah. I remember when Ryan Poles was hired, we hired Coach Flus and then immediately hired Lou Getzey. And one of the things that I said back when all those hires were made was I was worried that all these dudes are first timers. Ryan Poles, first time GM. Matt Eberflus, first time head coach. Lou Getzey, first time OC. Um, None of these guys have experience in developing, in bringing up an organization from bottom to top. None of these guys have experience in doing that. And that's what makes it feel so much like that John Fox era, where John Fox was the bridge from Lovey or from Mark Trestman, which was the absolute disaster, to Matt Nagy, who had a great first year, but we know how that worked out. It just feels very bridgy. It feels very, hey, set the culture, set the goody two shoes culture, do it the right way before we bring in another guy. And
Well,
it's just a revolving door with this organization. And that's where you have to that's where the buck stops, right? Like Sylvie says from Waddle and Sylvie starts at the top.
and we know where the origin of the problem is, and it's George. That it starts at the top and the type of guys that you bring in. And Flus is, even Nagy was kind of a step in the direction of the McVay, of the Shanahan, the whether he was correct or incorrect in his thought process, the younger, offensive minded quarterback guru. That's what they were going for with Nagy. Obviously, none of the above, but they at least went in that direction. Now Flus was like, you know what? We tried that. It didn't work. We're going back to what we are comfortable with. And what George is comfortable with is a defensive minded, yes man type quarterback or type coach that you see him in press conferences. He doesn't answer questions. He doesn't really give you anything other than stupid word salad, nonsense, positivity answers. Flus is in that press conference finding the positive. Granted, I think there's a time and place for that. You want to be positive. You want to try and do all that. Yes. But right now with this team, you are in danger of losing the team if you haven't already. And I heard on CHGO that none of the players were available for comments. That is not a good sign of culture. Um, Guys are hanging their heads. They're ducking the media. They're leaving. That's not good. And if you have a coach that's not holding anybody accountable, this is what
Yeah.
you get. And it's the same thing. George needs to bring in a coach if we're not going to stick with this that makes him uncomfortable. Somebody who's going to say it like it is in a press conference, because the Chicago media is just going to lob you softballs. Clearly, we saw it with Nagy. They're doing it with Flus. Stupid questions. He gets away with it.
Yeah.
Nobody is pressing him.
Yeah. Yeah, the Chicago media isn't we're a big market, but we aren't Boston, we aren't New York, we aren't, we're not that type of town where we'll chew your freaking head off if you go 0-2. Like that's just for some reason that's just not us. But um this is the 12th loss in a row going back to last year. 12 losses in a row.
How many coaches withstand that other than Hugh Jackson in Cleveland? Like, and is that what you want aspire to be? The Browns? Like,
Yeah, it'd be one thing, and granted, I think the Bears did play a little bit better today than they did week one, but like by the smallest of margins, and it's still not acceptable.
and I
Um,
thought maybe the team played better. The defense, maybe they still gave up 27, and I thought Justin was worse this week than last week.
no, 100%, 100%. Outside of his, that first drive, and he had that nice touchdown throw to Chase Claypool where he threaded the needle, but I mean, I don't. Yeah, I don't know if he was worse, but man, I think Luke Getzey was worse
Yeah,
this
Gatsby
week than he was
definitely.
last week.
Yeah,
That that screen call when you're backed to your own red zone, when you had just called a screen, you called back to back running back screens. Of course, the D end is going to expect it. Like I would have expected it if I was if they suited me up. Like so predictable at this point. I think I think Luke Getzey's completely out of his head, just like Matt Nagy was. No play calls make sense. He seems to have his mind set on what he wants to do, um, like in terms of his game plan, and then just sticks with it. He just sticks with it. And
do you
that's
think
exactly why Matt Nagy got fired. It's why any OC gets fired, any coach gets fired, because they're so damn hard headed to make adjustments, and they make this game plan. They think they're the smartest person in the room, and it goes to shit, and they have nothing to show for it because they don't want to adjust. They don't want to change anything.
he calls the game that way because he doesn't trust Justin?
Could be, but that approach alone is going to get you fired. Like, why do that? The the better approach, I would think, as an OC, would be to give Justin the keys, let him prove whether or not he's the guy. If he throws 4 interceptions in the game, then he's not the guy, and it's not on you because you're out there trying to dial it up for your quarterback. He's making the bad decisions. It buys you a little bit more time. But when you're doing this BS, these 2 cute plays, that jet sweep earlier in the game in the first half to Velus Jones that I could see coming, like it's just
When he was on the field, I knew what was coming.
right. It's like
Like, here we go. Valus is on the field. Here comes a jet sweep.
there's no creativity. Um there's no running to set up a play action on 3rd and short. Like what happened to that? What
It's
happened
long
to just good
gone.
old simple football? And it's like you pass on first down, it's an incompletion. So what are you going to do on 2nd and 10? You're going to run the football. It's so damn obvious. If I know you're going to do it, what the hell do professional coaches and professional football players know?
And
They
the
know you're
first
going to do it.
when he does dial it up, when he does dial up a decent play, because he has a couple here and there, Justin misses it.
Yeah, and
Look right at
it's
wide open receiver, it'd be a touchdown or a big gain, and he just doesn't throw it. It's beyond me. I don't get it. So both of them, they're like competing for who's worse. Like,
right. It's again, I said this in the last episode. It's the Matt Nagy and Mitch effect. It's you have a play caller who's in over his head and doesn't really know what he's doing, and then you have a quarterback who can't make up for the imperfections and can't shoulder the load, can't do it on his own. So when you have two guys who aren't helping each other, what does it look like? It looks like this. It's the unfortunate reality where we're at. But I did a poll on the podcast Twitter page, and I asked Bears fans, what is your biggest concern going forward? The options I gave you are Justin Fields, Luke Getsy, Matt Eberflus, and Ryan Poles. Who do you think is leading the votes?
I would say probably Justin, but my biggest concern is Flus.
Yeah, so Justin Fields is getting the overwhelmingly majority of the vote. We have 50 votes. Justin Fields is getting 51%. Luke Getsy next at 31. Matt Eberflus next at 16, and then Ryan Poles at 2%.
Because here's the thing: all of those, other than Poles, Getsy, and Justin, are a reflection of Matt Eberflus.
Yeah.
Moving on down, you are a reflection of your head coach, or that's at least how it should be. And if it's not, that's an even bigger problem. And it's just the head coach has to be in more command. And if he doesn't even pay attention to the offense, maybe he's one of those like I'm a defensive coach, you guys just handle that. Like, that's a problem too. Like, if you're a head coach, I don't care if you're a defensive head coach, you got to take Getsy and be like, dude, this isn't working. Or maybe he has, I don't know, but
yeah, you saying that makes me think of after week 1, there was a moment, or during the game, week 1 against Green Bay, there was a moment where it was a key third down, and DJ Moore wasn't on the field. He went to the sideline, and the reporters questioned Matt Eberflus about it. They said, "Why was DJ Moore on the sideline on a key third down? It's your best player. Why is he not on the field?" And Coach Eberflus basically said he didn't know.
yeah.
He said, "I don't know. Maybe he needed a breather. Maybe he had a tweak, an injury tweak that he needed to, be on the sideline for a play or two." And it's like, you are the head coach, and this is a couple of days after the game. I think this was the Wednesday presser after week 1.
Yep.
And he didn't know why his best wide receiver wasn't on the field on a key third down. You're the head coach. So, yeah, I think that's a big testament to and I don't know. I thought Eberflus was that CEO type of head coach where he would just have his, fingerprints on everything. He would be in the offensive meeting rooms. He would be in the defensive meeting rooms. He would want to know what Lou Getsy is trying to scheme up. He would want to know what Alan Williams is trying to scheme up. Like, I thought he was going to be that kind of head coach. And
I think we got a lot of lip service, and I think we got a lot of air, a lot of talking from Flus. And it maybe wasn't necessarily a true reflection of what was going on. And
yeah, super unfortunate. I want to ask you: Are you giving up on Justin officially? Are you just you're is your mind made up that he's not the guy?
I'm really, really close.
So not yet. So not yet. But you are close.
Not yet. I can't go there, but it's damn close.
Yeah.
If you get, you know, what makes it difficult for me to firmly say it is because the coaching staff, the scheme around him has been so unbelievably bad that it's really hard for me to be like, this is Justin, like, but he's not helping. And the guy is somebody you give a major contract to. He is not $250
Mhm.
million, not even
Mhm.
close. So when you're asking about the guy, you know, you give him a contract, hell no, not right now. Um, I've seen flashes of it, but again, I've been here before. We've been here before.
Right. Yep.
This is Mitch. It's the same thing. Like we need to stop kidding ourselves. It's exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
If Mitch was a little bit better, which is I can't believe I'm saying it. I,
Yeah. I was it's funny because they were replaying that Mitch's highlights from that 6 touchdown game against Tampa. And man, I don't know what the hell happened to that kid and why he couldn't even play half as good as he did that day going forward the rest of his career.
he,
But man, he was throwing dimes, and I'm talking about like anticipatory throws. He threw this post corner touchdown to Allen Robinson, and he threw the ball before Allen Robinson made his cut to the corner of the end zone. Like the ball was in the air before Allen Robinson got open, and it was on a dime. And it was like, man, and not only why couldn't Mitch do this going forward in his career, but why can't Justin? Like,
it's it's the same thing. I watched. This was maybe in the off season. I went back and watched because I thought Justin last year, I was like, man, he looks worse than he did as a rookie. And so I was like, okay, let me
mhm,
go and look at Mitch as a rookie. And you look at him when he came in 2017 with Fox, he looked more confident. His mechanics looked better. And as it went on, it slowly devolved to where you're seeing this guy so in his head, so tightly wound. And like I've said before, every throw is a referendum on his career. And that's what being the Bears quarterback is. You get so much hate, so much pressure to break this curse finally and finally be the guy that it just becomes toxic. And I think with Justin, when you saw him come in as a rookie, he looked better than he does now by a long shot. And people try and fool themselves. Oh no, he's no. He looked more confident. Go back and watch
100%,
the game. He was a different.
100%.
So there's something that goes on when you're the Bears quarterback, and clearly it doesn't matter. The coaches, the players around you, doesn't matter. It's the same story. Justin can run better. Obviously, sometimes he throws a better deep ball, but by and large, it's a replay. We've seen this movie before, and it sucked.
I'm so sick of it, dude. Oh, think we might have lost Dom. Dom, if you could hear me, we lost you. Come on back. Um, but just to piggyback off of what you said, Dom, I'll try to keep this rolling until you come back. Um, no, 100%. Like this, this ownership has never seen. Talking about George McCaskey, all the McCaskies. There he goes. I'm just piggybacking off of what you said, Dom, and you're 100% right. This ownership has never seen a quarterback develop ever, like in this franchise. So they're hiring. They're in charge of hiring these dudes who also don't know how to develop quarterbacks, and it's just a snowball effect. To you have an ownership has no idea what to do with quarterbacks. So of course they're going to hire people who have no idea what to do with quarterbacks. And I don't know why you can't just pick the easy route. Why couldn't you hire Doug Peterson? Why couldn't you hire Brian Dable? They have the resume. They have the resume for developing quarterbacks. Um, Yeah, it's so frustrating. And th- what I feel like is going to happen, and you could go ahead and mark this, it is Sunday, September 17th, 6:20 p.m. Okay, 2023. What I feel like is going to happen, because I don't know how better Justin is going to be the rest of the season. Um, if he doesn't drastically improve, and I'm talking about like night and day, 180-degree turnaround, I think Ryan Poles is going to feel very comfortable moving on from Justin, because after this is the fifth year option. They're not going to pick it up, and he won't be a Bears quarterback anymore. But this is what's going to happen. Ryan Poles is going to let Justin go. He's going to fire Luke Getzey, and he's going to keep Matt Eberflus. They're going to hire a new OC and try to draft the quarterback. That's what's going to happen. Bet you anything. It's going to be Justin and Luke as the scapegoats, and they're going to try to develop yet another young quarterback under Matt Eberflus as the head coach. And we're going to do the same thing again. They're going to find out Matt isn't the guy. Matt's going to get fired. Matt will probably get Ryan Poles fired. And then you have another young quarterback who's going to have to go through another regime change. I'm calling it now. I am calling it now. Oh, Dom, I can't hear you. Uh-oh. No. Can't hear you, bro. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. Um, hello, hello. Just keep talking. I still can't hear you, but let me see. I'm so sorry, guys. I can't hear you, Dom. Dom, try changing your mic settings on the StreamYard website. See what your mic settings say, or unmute yourself. Hello, hello. No, still can't hear you. I don't know what's happening. All right. Well, maybe we should just end it here. Maybe we should just call it, because we've lost Dom. Dom is the Bears organization right now. He just has no words. No words. Well, it's been great. We look forward to. We're going to be recording another episode uh, towards the middle of the week, maybe around Wednesday or something, and we will kind of go more in depth in this game after the film review is out, after the All 22 comes out. Shout out to JT O'Sullivan, who we love watching his QB school episodes. Um, we'll kind of go more in depth into what happened with Justin, what happened with Luke, uh, and try to dive a little bit more into that in the middle of the week, and then also give you a preview of that week 3 matchup that we are going to absolutely blow this team away in the Kansas City Chiefs. Watch. We're going to walk into Arrowhead, make Patrick Mahomes look like Mitch Trubisky, and and do exactly what Dom is doing right now on the video board and just choke him out. Yeah. 0-3 start, guys. This is this is awesome. This is amazing. What a world to be a Bears fan. But anyway, yeah, thank you all for watching, tuning in, listening, whatever, and we will talk to y'all in the middle of the week. Peace out.